It's not a joke. Disney owns Power Rangers. I am not kidding so much that I have to talk about one of my favorite shows that I know people hate. And I have to talk about it now because Disney owns Power Rangers. I'm not kidding. I'm not going to engage the emergency alert button and activate Aaron Stone. Hey, I'm on Cody Man. Today we're talking about Aaron Stone, a show I love, but I also hate because it takes too long to get into the plot of this show being good. Because everyone in my life is like, well, Aaron Stone should have ended, like season 2 should have been the end of the show. But cliffhanger ending made it feel like a season 3 would happen. And exactly the 2 days after the final episode came out, I was like, oh shit, it's over. And I freaked out and I panicked. Oh God, this is a true story and this is not for April Fools. Okay, it is for the sake of me talking about it for emergencies. But anyhow, the point is, I have to talk about this awful show because of Disney now owning Power Rangers. We have to bring back Aaron Stone. I know Mech X4 was okay, but this was like the proto Mech X4. Wanted that show, but that's until I might do a future video on Mech X4. But for now, let's talk about the awfulness of Aaron Stone. Let's begin. I have done episodes 1 through 8. Now I'm going to do something I haven't done before with these videos. I'm going to do the other episodes. Starting off with an episode I cannot even find the clip of it. Episode 9. Episode 9 is basically Aaron helps a princess in a country. Hall double crosses him. Hall's like, screw, and begins the arc of Hall, Aaron hating Hall for stupid things or not revealing his identity. And yes, this becomes a very pointless part of the show where it takes until season 2 and the end of the show to admit, hey, Hall's identity was a black guy, and it feels so shameful because it took 2 freaking seasons to admit that the black character was a black character. I know that sounds stupid, but that's how I feel like that's the problem of this show is a lot of the character sins happen in the final episode that it doesn't feel worth it. Like, I know it's the end of a show. You should do it at the end, but for me, it's awful. Anyhow, this episode also has a subplot with Emma basically saying, oh my God, I have to maybe say Jason, and it's like a comedic episode. Really good for that bit, but yeah, it's kind of terrible. Next episodes, I'm going off of order because I can't remember some of this. It's just memory recall. So I think the next episode is episode 10 was the episode where Aaron basically guest star Chris Jericho. Yes, wrestling celebrity, WWE superstar Chris Jericho shows up in the episode as a fighter guy and basically gets captured. Also, this is a 0 episode. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention Cloudy with a Chance of Ninja. That was the episode. Next, episode 10 is Cloudy with a Chance of Ninja. Yes, because the main Zepper, one of the only few Mega Defiance members, which only shows up in this one episode, basically wants Emma's revenge. They do that, and basically this whole episode is okay. I feel like this is the first of many episodes to make Jason feel like a shithead, in the sense that Jason finds out the secret and it turns into stalling because this feels so pointless. Now the rest, Chris Jericho episode. Well, Chris Jericho's appearance in this episode as a cage fighter is interesting because this is the second 0 episode, which really is the only other 0. Also, Cross is in it, which is the robot villain. The robot member. So basically, Cross is here for like just throwaway scene, but basically that's a good episode. This episode's good, even if the biggest plot hole of the episode is Aaron not playing Hero Rising and there's a new item that he gains and doesn't know what to do with it, which is one of the laziest episodes of the show. Like, I feel like this is a lazy as hell episode. Next up is another episode I can find on YouTube. And that episode is My Two Stans. Basically, this episode's about Stan seeing a future self from 1 week in the future, warning about the Chrono doing something bad. Basically, that happens, defeats Kronos, and this is Kronos' only other fight episode besides the one with his son, which kind of confusing. But anyway, the point is that Hero Rising in this series is like the last Starfighter plot with Starfighter, but I feel like this show feels terrible because it's only Eren as the main character for most episodes, and Emma's here as like the Q character who gets gadgets or explain. In this episode, also is the official start of Jason becoming a stupid, annoying character not knowing the truth. It gets really painful as time progresses, but yeah, this is bad. Other episodes include the Powers episode, which technically is the next episode on the list. Also, an episode where Eren Brain turns evil from a growth enhancement steroid or whatever. Does that? Boss and Ram are like introduced as main characters in the. I say now helping Emma for the sake of we can't use Eren, so I need you two to do it. And they just be the tech people later on in season 2, but that's the point. That happens, the next episode is like the origin. Powers' first appearance is in episode 15. I wish he was debuted as foreshadowing because that would be way better of a plot. I'm not kidding. Powers' whole character, it's like the best part of the show because he's the villain who knows the truth. And I have a fan theory where I feel like Aaron Stone should have been that show that could have a plot where the villains didn't know about Hero Rising and only Powers knows, and Powers' knows is the only reason they care, but they don't believe him as an arc, like with Sector 21. But the point is, he's the main villain of the show if there was a third season. Got that? Good. And also, this show is great, but anyhow, the biggest problem is this episode is kind of good. Like another scene where Eren uses the gauntlet to climb a rope to Jason, where for the whole episode, Jason does dumb stuff because of Buddyverse. I think that would never happen today with gambling and sins, right? Like freaking YouTube contests just to do stupid things. How timeless is that's not a relevant thing? Yes, it is. It's for freaking media people with stupidity. That's why this is a good episode that holds up, but for funny for its time. Baki diverged Facebook going like, oh God, you got to base maybe a content for how dumb can you be? And as an episode, it's really funny, but not good. Also, there's a few other episodes, like the Origin episode. I like to call Spice Stakeout with Dan, which basically is the best episode of the entire series because we get the origin of Eren's name, why Charlie calls Eren Stone, because his father told him a bedtime story that if he's brave, which it kind of worked for Eren's character, naming his player character after a joke of his father as a tale. As an episode, it's the best episode of the series. Also, I feel like this is the best episode. I have a fan theory, but I don't want to say it now. I will never say it because it's stupid. But anyhow, the point is, you learn the origin of Hero Rising officially, which they do explain in the intro with the serum. That's great. And also, next episode is the Halloween episode. But before that, we have one other episode, which is freaking Stand By Me, where Stan gets replaced by a more advanced robot played by another actor from Zeke and Luther. as this episode's great. Biggest problem is Jason's character, Therese Beck, is used for this character, and it feels very weak and weird. But anyhow, as an episode, it's good. But anyhow, the best part of this episode is Stan doing a Mario joke. Yes, he does a Mario reference, which is one of the best video game references of season 1, in my opinion. Great. Next up is the Halloween episode where the villains find out that Aaron has a family. Yep, this is the episode they figure it out, but they do nothing with it. Also, in season 1, there's a weapon called the neutron buster or whatever it's called. It's going to be ported to season 2 for one atom destructor. That's what it's called. Basically, that's the plot point for season 1, season 2 episode. What does it not say? But basically this next episode, the penultimate episode, season 1, is basically Boss and Rom show up, and basically Boss and Rom are almost going to spoil the identity while Stan can't do nothing because his bats are both destroyed, which is a very funny episode of a joke, but as an episode, it's okay. Also, there's an episode with Hall's daughter, which kind of makes no sense, in my opinion, for the show, but it's a weird romantic episode. That episode's okay. But anyhow, it's great. And now for the final episode of the show. And this episode is actually pisses me off. But I wish season 3 exists because of this. We're talking about Game On, the season 1 finale. And after this, I'm going to briefly say season 2 because season 2 is awesome. But anyhow, this episode's great. Very good, very bad. Point is, Jason finds out Aaron's stolen, but due to this episode's plot was about his brother making a birthday present gets destroyed. Then later in the episode, they take him to a tournament in Chicago, which I think they're in Princeton, somewhere. Princeton, I think that's the name of the town. Somewhere in nearby North Carolina or whatever. I think, I'm not sure, but the point is they travel to California by car. They go, they lose because Jason's whole character, he sucks. And this pisses me off because his whole character is not accepting his suckiness until season 2, which I will explain. But season 2 is great. Also, as the Mega Defiance gets replaced with the Sector 21, which is the Mega Defiance's evil plan. Sector 21 is like their reject bin, and the reject bin revolts and basically attacks. The main villain of season 2 is Damage, plus a few other members. As a show, I like season 2 for changing the villains, but it feels forced, feeling like it made sense for supernatural stuff. But anyhow, as a show, it's great. Also, season 2 has a lot of pop culture titles. Season 1 is more movie titles or titles. This has more gaming titles besides season 1, only gaming episode being the Halloween episode Dreamcast. But the point is, as this show has a lot of joke names for episodes, which is funny. Episode 1 is not one of them. Damage Control, named after the expansion for Hero Rising. That's a big plot point in the first few episodes, and as a plot is great. Anyhow, this show is 2010, so you need to have an internet cafe that's a comic book store, and also Never Ending Comics, a new set that they added for season 2 just to make the show have a recurring set instead of school or other places that felt not good. But anyhow, point is, Never Ending Comics is a great area, not better than my local store, which Millennium Games. Yep, if you know what that is, I just said it, okay? This is not sponsored by them, but great. Anyhow, point is, Damage defeats all the Mega Defiance members one by one. We see Cross. Oh yeah, there was a episode with Sabretooth. That episode feels lazy for Jason, but as an episode, it was great. Sorry about that for season 1, but the point is, season 2 is awesome. I won't give in to season 2 now because might be next time I do the series. I'm going to explain the whole season 2. But this primer's mostly on season 1. 8 minus the first 8 episodes because I did those episodes a long time ago. Got that? Good. Hope you liked the video. Leave a comment. Oh, God. No. Wait. God damn it. Why am I here? Michael, it's time to bring out the new member of our team that I wish we need to help. A friend known as Nadar Drago. Fine. Oh, God damn it, everyone. Hello, Nadar Drago, making my first official appearance in the team in this video. How you like the video? Leave a comment down below. You give a damn. This is Nadar Drago saying, and he come in saying, bye-bye for now. Yep, Nadar Drago's a new member, but only time will tell. Bye-bye for now.